Hello everybody and welcome to the Phoenix International Raceway for the 2006 Subway Fresh 500 and the fourth race of our 2006 NR2003 season. Kevin Harvick starts on the pole position alongside Tony Stewart in the 20s. You get ready to get underway. Here in Phoenix, the green flag is out and we're underway in the desert. Who is going to find their way into victory lane and what could be a very chaotic race if this is like past Phoenix races here in 2003. Harvick out to the early jump over Tony Stewart, side by side through turn one. The battle's on down this back straightaway between the 20 and the 29. Stewart and Harvick now down through 3 and 4. Tony Stewart will fall behind and Kevin Harvick will clear the field, and Harvick will lead the opening lap of racing here in Phoenix. Behind him, how about the 6 of Mark Martin, who's had a great start to the year. He's been top 10 every race. He is in second now, mixing up with Tony Stewart for that second position, but Stewart looks like he will retain that position as we go down the back straightaway towards 3 and 4, and then Mark Martin will go back to fighting Kenseth and Carl Edwards, his fellow Roush Racing teammates, as well as Greg Biffle. Of course, Roush right now running 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, but it's Kevin Harvick leading the field in the desert here in Phoenix, but not for long. The ensuing lap, Tony Stewart will pass Kevin Harvick in turn 3, and the last season's 5-time winner, Tony Stewart, will take the lead here in Phoenix away from Kevin Harvick. Now, on lap 7, a huge crash off into turn 1. J.J. Yaley, David Stremme, Ryan Newman, others involved. Newman goes spinning in front of the pack. Stremme gets ran over by Brent Sherman. Sends J.J. Yaley spinning. Arca breaks the back end. Reed Sorensen piles in. Scott Wimmer. More guys involved in a multi-car accident in turn 1 brings out our first caution of the night here in Phoenix with Tony Stewart out front of Kevin Harvick. Now we get back underway on this restart. Kevin Harvick with a great jump on the restart will jump out ahead of Tony Stewart and Carl Edwards, and Kevin Harvick will get himself into the race lead here at Phoenix once again, going by his chief rival so far today, Tony Stewart, as well as the 99 of Carl Edwards, who's had a great start to this race as he tries to have a solid sophomore season to bounce back into contention for the Nextel Cup if he can make the chase. But right now it is Kevin Harvick who will lead us over Tony Stewart here early in stage 1 in Phoenix. Now we move on to lap 47. 35 laps later has been all Kevin Harvick leading this race, but Harvick right now stuck behind the lap car is Scott Riggs, who has damage, and here comes the 6 of Mark Martin, the crafty veteran, to the inside of Harvick through turn 4, and now Mark Martin going to go 3 wide of the lap cars of Sorensen and Riggs, and Mark Martin will drive his way into the lead for the first time tonight here in Phoenix. Mark Martin, new leader here in Phoenix. He will lead over Kevin Harvick. Great job, Mark Martin. But the caution's coming out right as Martin takes the lead. A yellow has come out, crash into turn 2, and it's Carl Edwards. All 3 Roush cars were in it. Roush Racing Disaster Class, Biffle, Kenseth, and Edwards 3 wide all get into each other and send Carl Edwards spinning into the outside wall, damaging the back bumper of that number 99 Office Depot Ford of Carl Edwards. Biffle and Kenseth, luckily for them, have no damage, but Edwards taken out by his own teammates as Mark Martin leads the field back to the caution flag here in Phoenix. What a weird turn of events here as we look to conclude stage 1 in about 26 laps or so. And now Tony Stewart going to dive it 3 wide for the lead into turn 1. Tony Stewart being aggressive on the restart. Harvick forced to lift to avoid taking out the 6 of Mark Martin, and now Stewart and Martin side by side for the lead down the back straightaway here at Phoenix. The battle is on. Tony Stewart sends it to the inside lane. What a move by Tony Stewart to drive his way to the lead by going 3 wide bottom here in Phoenix. Tony Stewart makes it happen. He is your new leader now on lap 54. 3 wide back here. Clint Bowyer, Schrader, and Kenseth. A little bit of contact, and around goes Clint Bowyer. The rookie and the double, and the rookie in the 07 Jack Daniel Chevy. Bowyer goes around, gets clipped by Kenseth and Schrader 3 wide. And Bowyer has certainly had a rough start to his rookie season in the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series. But luckily for him, it avoids any damage, so he can still come back from this and have a solid finish here tonight. We will see. Bowyer was running really well up inside the top 10 before he pitted and got back in that mess where he ended up getting spun out. But it is still Tony Stewart leading this race as we got a bit of streak of some cautions here midway towards the end of stage 1 here. Is once again Stewart and Harvick the front row, 2 guys who seem to have the best race cars. Stewart in his Joe Gibbs Chevrolet, Harvick in his Richard Childress Racing Chevy. Harvick on the outside lane, great momentum, and Kevin Harvick will drive by Tony Stewart on the outside lane, but Stewart going to try to fight back on the bottom. Can't do it. Harvick back out front here in Phoenix as he will clear Tony Stewart with ease through turn 3 and 4. Kevin Harvick back out front here in Phoenix. Stewart still trying to chase him down in second. Now even the front straightaway in trouble. Smoke up ahead. There's a big crash into turn 1. That's Sterling Marlin, Kurt Busch, Jamie McMurray involved. David Stremme also collected in another big pileup into turn 1. And the chaos continues. Sterling Marlin just completely destroyed Jamie McMurray, who goes all the way up the track and then bang right into Kurt Busch. Nowhere to go. Hamlin gets a piece of it. Big hit from David Stremme into Sterling Marlin. JJ Yeley caught a little bit of damage, but McMurray is destroyed. He was running in 7th when this happened. So is Marlin. He's destroyed as well. He was running in 8th. Kurt Busch, who's having a solid top 15 day. He's got heavy damage. Smoke trailing out the back of his car. You see Sterling Marlin right now with the damage. And there's Kurt Busch. David Stremme, the rookie, is ruined right now. A lot of good cars taken out in a multi-car pileup in turn 1. That brings out the caution flag here in Phoenix, with Kevin Harvick out front leading this field. And what's been a wild end to this first stage racing that is still continuing on here now. We've got about 13 to go on the stage. Harvick restarts underneath Tony Stewart for the lead. Behind them, the Hendrick trio of Jimmy Johnson, who's been ever so present every week for this victory. And then Jeff Gordon and Brian Vickers. But it's Kevin Harvick who has a comfortable lead and is driving away off here into turn 3 and 4. Harvick looking to get his first win since Pocono of last season, which got him into the, at the time, playoffs. As now Harvick leading last lap of stage 1, but look out, Tony Stewart closing in on Kevin Harvick, who's going to get stuck behind the lap car of Kurt Busch. Here comes Tony Stewart. He's going to use Kurt Busch's damaged Ford as a damaged Dodge as a pick to get by Kevin Harvick, and Tony Stewart is going to steal the stage 1 win here in Phoenix. Jimmy Johnson takes second. Harvick falls all the way to third. Edwards fourth. Bobby Labonte runs on the top 5. Then Jeff Gordon, Matt Kenseth, Casey Kane, Clint Boyer gets 2 stage points, and Greg Biffle round out your top 10 earning stage points. But Tony Stewart wins stage 1 on a last lap pass on Kevin Harvick, who got screwed over by Kurt Busch, the defending winner of this race, having a rough day today. And Kevin Harvick will easily beat Denny Hamlin on this restart to begin stage number 2 on lap 83. Harvick trying to get redemption for that tough stage 1 loss, takes lead away from Denny Hamlin. 3-way down the front stretch, and around goes the 49 of Brent Sherman, and up and over. Upside down goes Brent Sherman, launched up and over by the 10 of Scott Riggs. Michael Waltrip also collected in the 55. But look at Sherman, went up and over end, flipped over by Scott Riggs. Caution is out. Another big incident into turn 1, been the theme of the day. Calamity Corner, turn 1 here in Phoenix. Denny Hamlin dropping through the field like a rock on this restart from that damage from the earlier incident. He just doesn't have the speed today. Meanwhile, back at the front of the field, it is still Kevin Harvick leading this race, who continues to do so on the lap 90. Has been absolutely dominant so far today, and the caution has come out once again. Another big incident down the front stretch. Ryan Newman, your defending champion, is around. But it all starts with Truex bouncing out the wall, Tony Stewart slamming Schrader into the wall, Boyer and Biffle collect some damage to the inside wall, Tony Raines collected the 96, heavy damage to Ryan Newman, your defending champion, and his All-Tel Dodge, and another yellow into Calamity Corner here in Phoenix. And what has been a wild, wild race here. Probably our craziest race since the Daytona 500 to start this season here in Phoenix, as Kevin Harvick still is your leader. And so on to lap 118 is still Kevin Harvick in control, working on lapping Joe Nemechek and Kyle Petty once again when the caution lights come on. So we have yet another incident down the front stretch to the 96 of Tony Raines, who just got ran into by Kyle Busch. This happened as Tony Raines got spun out by Carl Edwards on the exit of turn 4. So then Tony Raines here backs up onto the racetrack. He's doing fine. He's getting back underway. He's just minding his own business, keeping his lane away from the leaders. But out of nowhere, Kyle Busch forgets where he's going and slams into the back of Tony Raines. And Kyle Busch's night is done. Just like that, Busch, who was having a solid top 15 day, was runner-up in the playoff race back in 2005 here. Just not his day. Uncharacteristic mistake from Kyle Busch takes him out of the race. Kevin Harvick still leading on lap 124 as he leads over Matt Kenseth. Caution lights come out once again. Another wreck. This time it's another rookie, Martin Truex Jr., who just got cleaned out by Jeff Green, and he just gets clipped right there by Elliott Sadler. Smoke starts coming out from the nose of the 1 of Martin Truex. Elliott Sadler has some damage as well in the 38, and it looks pretty severe. Meanwhile, back at the front, we're still trying to make our way through stage 2. Kevin Harvick's got to be saying, what do I got to do to just have a green flag run here? He's been driving away with the lead every single time. So now Harvick came down pit road. Now it's Greg Biffle leading his first lap of the night in the Subway Ford on the outside lane of Tony Stewart for the lead. How about Clint Boyer, the rookie behind them in third, who has rebounded from an early spin to get himself back into contention. Right, Greg Biffle looks like he's going to clear Tony Stewart here, and indeed he will. Greg Biffle to the lead here in Phoenix, gets around Tony Stewart. 41 to go in stage 2. Greg Biffle leads. Caution has come out. Michael Waltrip and Jeremy Mayfield have crashed into turn 3. Mikey just hooks Truex and cleans out Mayfield into turn 3. Brings out the yellow. Truex got clipped there by Robbie Gordon, it looks like. And Truex's day continues to get worse as we go on here, getting involved in incidents. Michael Waltrip's day hasn't gotten any better either. So Greg Biffle was leading, but now Kevin Harvick has taken the lead back. And on the last lap of stage 2, we finally made it to the end of the stage. Kevin Harvick will get his first stage win of the season, winning stage 2 here in the desert in Phoenix. Matt Kenseth looks like he will hold off Tony Stewart for second, which he will. Stewart comes home third. Jimmy Johnson fourth. Fifth place, Jeff Burton. Bobby Labonte sixth. Mark Martin seventh. Vickers eighth. Edwards ninth. And Greg Biffle narrowly edges out Jeff Gordon for the final stage point. So Tony Stewart took stage 1. Kevin Harvick takes stage 2 here in Phoenix. As we get ready to finish to this race, back underway here. It is going to be 118 to go here in Phoenix. Kevin Harvick will clear Matt Kenseth. The lead in trouble. Jeff Gordon's around the 24, wrecking into turn 1. Casey Mears as well, a big pile up. Scott Winter piles this. Jeff Gordon wrecking nearly his teammate Vickers, ends up taking himself out. Gordon crashes to the outside wall. Casey Mears collected in the aftermath, spins around, gets destroyed by the 4 of Scott Wimmer, and absolute mayhem being unleashed here in Phoenix. That big hit right there from Wimmer is going to knock Casey Mears out of the race, who's having a really solid top 15 run tonight. Mears will be out. Wimmer's damaged. Jeff Gordon, who is top 10 all night long, damaged as well. And the craziness continues here in Phoenix. Kevin Harvick, still your leader. Dale Jarrett goes around to bring out a yellow here on lap 206. Luckily, this time nobody runs into him. So 107 to go. Yellow comes out for Dale Jarrett spinning. And your race leader is still Kevin Harvick in the number 29. Now we get back underway on lap 211, 102 to go in Phoenix. Mark Martin will take the lead back here in Phoenix for the first time since early in the first stage. Mark Martin leading in Phoenix as he'll easily pass Kevin Harvick and Matt Kenseth. What a move. Mark Martin, your new leader here in Phoenix with 102 to go. Now, with just 99 to go, Kevin Harvick has gone right back by Mark Martin on the inside lane. Harvick seems to have the fastest car. He's been so dominant. He is your leader, but now here comes Tony Stewart applying pressure on Harvick, and Tony Stewart to the inside for the lead with 98 to go. It is Tony Stewart and Kevin Harvick dueling it out in the desert for the win here in Phoenix. Who will prevail? Harvick keeps it there on the outside lane. A great battle so far. Harvick fights back against Tony Stewart with a great run on the outside lane down the back straightaway. Stewart still in that preferred line, the inside lane here, especially for turns 3 and 4. And with some momentum on exit of the corner, Tony Stewart is going to take the race lead once more here in Phoenix with 97 to go. Now here we are with just 83 to go. Tony Stewart stuck behind Robbie Gordon, opens the door for Greg Biffle. And once again, the number 16 Subway Ford will take the lead. That being Greg Biffle, who won this race when we raced it in the playoffs back in 2005. Greg Biffle won the last time we raced here in Phoenix, so he's back out front leading with 83 to go now. Coming to 72 to trouble. That's Kurt Busch in the 2 with some damage. Ends up having a mechanical issue. Kurt Busch out of the race in 31st, which brought out a caution. So now it'll be the Roush Racing front row of Matt Kenseth and Mark Martin. Biffle and Harvick shuffled a bit further back in the pack after some pit stops. So now Matt Kenseth and the DeWalt Ford, who had that incredibly long winless streak that lasted from basically mid-season 2002 all the way to the middle of last season, 2005 at Chicagoland. He finally broke it. Now, Kenseth looking to get 2 wins within 2 seasons, which he hasn't done since the very early portion of these simulations, as he was a big lead. And now with just 50 laps to go, here comes his teammate of Mark Martin back to the inside. Mark Martin hasn't won since 2004, went winless all of last season, and now he's going to lose the lead and second place as Kevin Harvick now drives his way back into the race lead with 48 laps to go, and Denny Hamlin gets turned by Tony Stewart, and that will bring out a caution here, and this changes everything. Stewart takes out his rookie teammate Denny Hamlin. Caution is out. Now it's Harvick and Mark Martin on the restart with just 23 laps to go here in Phoenix. And Mark Martin with a blinding restart, clear over Kevin Harvick. Mark Martin takes the lead here in Phoenix with just 23 to go, looking to get his first win since 2004. Can he do it today? We will see. Behind him, Harvick runs second. Tony Stewart runs in third, but he's battling it out with Casey Kane. Back here you saw Clint Boyer, Jimmy Johnson back in the top 10. But Mark Martin leads with 22 to go here in Phoenix. Now just 7 to go. Mark Martin still leading, but here comes Matt Kenseth, and they're 3 wide for the lead with 7 to go in Phoenix. What a battle for the win. Kenseth to the inside of Mark Martin. He will make the move. And can he take the lead away? Look out for the lap car of Michael Waltrip, who will block the 6 of Mark Martin. Matt Kenseth, new leader in Phoenix with just 6 laps to go. But look who Stewart and Harvick are right there on his back bumper. The pressure is on the 17. Can Kenseth hold on to get this win? And look who he's got in front of him. Denny Hamlin, who Tony Stewart, that's his Stewart's teammate who he wrecked earlier. But Hamlin's still going to be a team player. Blocks Matt Kenseth. And here comes Tony Stewart to the inside lane. Stewart trying to get the lead, but now Hamlin blocking Stewart in frustration. Now they're 3 wide for the lead. What a move by Stewart on the inside and Kenseth on the outside. This battle for the win continues. Now just 5 laps remain in Phoenix, and Tony Stewart will clear Matt Kenseth for the lead. Now with just 4 to go, Stewart stuck behind Robbie Gordon. That's the opportunity Matt Kenseth needed. Kenseth to the inside. Matt Kenseth takes the lead here in Phoenix, coming to just 3 laps to go. And Tony Stewart lost a huge amount of time being stuck behind Robbie Gordon. Kenseth leads, 3 to go in Phoenix. Now, white flag in the air. Final lap at Phoenix for the 17 of Matt Kenseth to get his second win in the span of about 20 races or so, which would be huge for him since he hasn't done that since 2002 when he went on to win the championship with 3 wins on that season. Stewart hard charging here in the final corner, but Tony Stewart going to run out of time, and Matt Kenseth with some brilliant late race execution is going to win in Phoenix. Matt Kenseth, your winner. Tony Stewart second. Mark Martin third, Kevin Harvick fourth, Casey Kane runs out your top 5, Jimmy Johnson sixth, Clint Boyer 7th, Greg Biffle 8th, Carl Edwards 9th, and Bobby Labonte gets his first top 10 with Richard Petty Motorsports. So how about that? Matt Kenseth wins the Subway Fresh 500 here in Phoenix, leading 38 laps and with a clutch pass on Tony Stewart in lap traffic, and it is his 6th career victory through 7 seasons, which is tied for 61st all-time with 6 career wins on the all-time wins list. You see the final race results there on the left side of your screen. Pause if you'd like to scroll about, see where your favorite driver finished, and you'll see updated playoff grid momentarily. So now here's your updated chase for the Cup standings after 4 races. Jimmy Johnson still with a huge points lead. Hasn't finished worse than 6th this season. Well, triple digit, over 100 points above that cut line. Mark Martin, Tony Stewart both had really strong top 5s today. Bolster their chances to make it in. Jeff Gordon, Carl Edwards, Jeff Burton, Kevin Harvick, Greg Biffle all had good runs today, so they're all above the cut line from 4th to 8th, looking pretty solid there. Your winner, Matt Kenseth, now jumps himself up into the 10-man chase at the moment at 7 points above the cut line. Your Daytona 500 winner, Dale Jr., sits on the bubble, 4 points above Casey Mears, who is just out, as well as Kyle Busch, Casey Kane, and Michael Waltrip on the outside looking in. So there's your chase picture, just 4 races into the season. And as we end this episode, I want to give a special shout out to my channel members. Thank you very much to Brenda Breen and Jeremy Isley. I really appreciate your guys' support. It means a lot to me. It helps this channel continue to grow on a road to 1,000 subscribers. And we get ever closer to 900 at the moment. So those of you that are watching and are not subscribed, please do subscribe. I would really, really, really appreciate it. It's completely free. It only takes 3 seconds. And it definitely helps me out a lot. If you also want to become a paid channel member and get access to exclusive perks, you can join by hitting the join button or clicking the link in the description down below. So until the next episode, I hope you all have a good one.